Hello, everyone. My name is Gaurav Singh, and I am the Associate Director at TNA Consulting. Just to give you a brief, TNA Consulting is a global consulting practice to economic development agency and businesses across the globe. We are advisors to Invest Northern Ireland, facilitating Northern Irish companies to navigate Indian market. In fact, in May this year, we collaborated with Invest NI to prepare a market intelligence report titled Market Opportunities for Northern Irish Companies in the Agriculture, Agritech and Allied Sector in India. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am pleased to present the summary of key findings of the report. The presentation is divided into 4 segments. 1. Agricultural equipment and machinery. 2. Agritech. 3. Challenges in agriculture, agritech. And 4. Market entry routes. Starting with the first section, agricultural equipment and machinery in India. To give you an overview, the agricultural machinery market size is roughly around 8 to 9 billion GBP at the moment, and it is expected to reach 10 to 11 billion GBP by the year 2029, registering a growth of 6.5 to 7% of compounded annual growth rate. The major segment of agricultural equipment and machinery in India are equipment, irrigation machinery, harvesting machinery, and heavy light machinery, with harrows, sprinkler machinery, harvesters, and tractors being some of the major segments. In terms of market dynamics, the Indian agricultural machinery market is influenced by multitude of factors ranging from farm size to crop type, geographical location, farmer income levels to regional variation. The farm size in India varies under 1 hectare to over 10 hectares. Less than 1 hectare is the marginal land size. 1 to 2 is small. 2 to 4 is small to medium. 4 to 10 is medium. And over 10 hectare is a large farm size. So farm size in India varies across a region. Crop type. India has multiple crop type. The traditional crops like rice, wheat, pulses, maize, and cash crops like tea, coffee, cotton, and they are grown across the India and under different seasons as well. India has 15 agroclimatic zones, around 160 million hectares of arable land, and around 8 major soil types, with alluvial soil in the north, black soil in the western part of India in the Maharashtra and Deccan region, and red and yellow soil in the southern states of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. In India, one of the important dynamic is that agricultural farm income ranges from as low as 50 to 60 GBP per month in the eastern states of Jharkhand and Bihar to around 250 GBP per month in the northern state of Punjab and Haryana. Moving on to this section, which is about the trends in the agricultural equipment. Well, in India, ballpark, we have 120 agricultural equipment manufacturers, dealers, and resellers that have a portfolio of around 200 machinery types. And one of the essential in India is for a foreign company is to partner with an Indian dealer for better market reach and for tapping the distribution networks. Some of the prominent machinery or equipment wherein the dealers and resellers engage are rotavators, potato diggers, rotary tillers, chaff cutter. Well, this slide demonstrates the demand and supply landscape of agricultural machinery. As mentioned in the last slide, rotary tillers and rotavators is one of the important segment of agricultural machinery. However, that is locally manufactured in India, all over in India, and in fact, that is also exported to some of the neighboring countries. Equipment for paddy transplanters, combine harvesters, and sugarcane harvesters are primarily imported in India and imported in the northern states and in the western state of Maharashtra. An important point to remember is that the geographical concentration of manufacturers, dealers, and resellers is in the northern state of Punjab and Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana, and in the western state of Gujarat. And dealerships mostly trade in the local machinery. Moving on to the import trends. Well, India in total imports 405 million worth of agricultural equipment and machinery, with an overwhelming contribution from China that accounts over 60% of the imports. In fact, China, Japan, and Thailand accounts for over 75% of India's agricultural machinery. Europe accounts for around 10 to 12% of the imports, and the amount is roughly around 35 to 40 million, with Netherlands, UK, Italy, Belgium, and Germany being the key export market to India. Continuing with the trends, one of the equipment that is primarily imported in India is rice harvesters, and that is imported in the northern part of India to supplement local production. The other equipment that is primarily imported in India are balers, that is imported mostly from Turkey and Italy for compressing and baling crops for the storage purposes. Equipment like paddy transplanters and sugarcane harvesters are primarily imported from China in the northern states. In fact, an interesting fact is that 90% of balers and combine harvesters are imported in India, with Germany, Italy, and France having the major share. Moving on to the opportunities in the agricultural equipment and machinery. Now, how to create that opportunities for Northern Irish companies? One of the important key takeaway is tailored solution for the local market. For Indian market, developing products for the local needs is important, and for that, leveraging technology and productivity is important. And in order to achieve that, strategic partnerships with a local partner, whether in the form of technology transfer or R&D investment, is of paramount investment. In fact, now we are seeing India being positioned as a low-cost manufacturing for agricultural equipment, wherein India is acting as a export hub to the other. To give you some of the specific opportunity for the Northern Irish companies, there are two segments. One is the agri-machinery equipment, the other is agri-engineering. Agri-machinery equipment, because Northern Irish companies have developed innovative solutions and they have high expertise in this segment. And there is a growing alignment for the Indian market, as we have seen demand for advanced harvesters, and the sales have surged in the last 5 to 7 years. The second segment is agri-engineering, wherein the Northern Irish agri-tech sector accounts for over 40% of global mobile crushing and screening equipment. Here, the demand is within the India's agricultural ecosystem to boost efficiency and productivity. Moving on to the next section of our presentation, agri-tech in India. Well, To give you an overview of the agri-tech sector is ballpark around 12 to 13 billion GBP and is expected to grow to 20 billion GBP by the year 2028. In fact, agri-tech has the potential to contribute to around 480 to 500 billion to India's GDP by 2030. The major segment in the agri-tech are market linkages, precision agriculture, quality management, supply chain tech, and financial services, with supply chain tech and output market linkages being the biggest segment. In fact, we have witnessed in the last decade that the agri-tech startups have gone up from 50 to over 1,000, and government has allocated over 50 million GBP for the agri-tech sector through various programs and initiatives. This slide showcases the agri-tech value chain in India. On the upstream side, we have farm inputs, wherein we are witnessing digital marketplace and physical infrastructure to link farmers to inputs. That is on the upstream side of the value chain. In terms of midstream value chain, that is cultivation and distribution, we are seeing stakeholders deploying technology like IoT, sensors, geospatial weather data for the enhancing productivity and efficiency in the agri industry. And in the downstream value chain of the agri-tech, which is post-production processing and retailing, the emphasis has mostly been on the quality management and supply chain to handle post-harvest. Some of the important trends that we have witnessed is the emergence of fintech, that is digital lending tools to ensure farmers have access to financial services, including loans and insurance. We have also witnessed sustainable farming practices with preference to organic farming and modern methods like drip irrigation, primarily to promote sustainability. We are also seeing increased adoption of mechanization in the farm, whether via automation or via company side in the form of affordable leasing of equipment. They are also witnessing startups collaborating with the other stakeholders in the ecosystem like government, private sector companies, incubators, accelerators in scaling up and growing. And government has introduced several measures and initiatives like eNAM, which is the digital portal to aggregate all the national agricultural commodity, the introduction of soil health card given to farmers in order to manage productivity and efficiency in the form of knowing how much fertilizers to give to the soil nutrients. Kisan drone, that is deploying technology in the form of drone to the agricultural fields so that productivity can be enhanced and risk can be mitigated. Again, to give you an overview of what are the important trends, one, I spoke on the technology side, and deep diving in the technology side, there has been an increasing penetration of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and blockchain technology, primarily to promote sustainable farming and to boost overall productivity of the agricultural sector in India. To give you the specifics of what are the opportunities in the agri-tech sector for Northern Irish companies, there are primarily four areas: software solutions, precision farming, cloud-based solutions, and water management solution. Software solution, because a lot of NI companies provide a range of services like fabrication and hydraulics. This is an area of alignment with the Indian companies as there has been a growing demand for software solution and there are startups who have forayed into this segment. Precision farming is another key competitive advantage of NI companies, and here also there has been a surge for precision farming due to the increasing adoption for technology in the Indian market. Cloud-based solutions, again, companies from India as well as NI have emerged in this segment, and there can be a growing alignment in this sub-segment. Lastly, water management solutions. As Indian ecosystem realizes there is a need for effective water management to reduce wastage, and NI companies have a competitive advantage in this segment wherein there can be a greater collaboration. One of the important challenge for foreign companies entering Indian market is the regulatory landscape, where there is a custom duty, there is a longer lead time. However, this is expected to reduce if this is included in the India-UK Free Trade Agreement, and this is possibly going to eliminate much of the tariffs to give a level playing field to foreign companies. The other challenges are very India specific. One would be the low tech adoption by a certain section wherein the usage of information and communications technology has been minimal. Disparity in the market, as in the north states of India, they have the larger farm size and greater purchasing power, so they tend to have a greater share of demand as compared to the other parts of India. The land holding impact, because the average land size or farm size in India is small, they rely on the local handheld machinery. Hence, the demand for foreign companies is low. Also, there is a low awareness regarding the use of technology and advanced machinery in the overall agricultural ecosystem. However, this slide presents that these challenges have been addressed by some of the foreign companies by tapping two important things. One is product to market fit, and the other is collaborating with the local partners, because that helps in addressing the local needs of the consumers and addressing the Indian farming practices. The local partners enable distribution network. They lend expertise for the local market, and with the local partner, the pricing can be substantially cut down. Well, the recommended market entry routes for NI companies could be A, via importer distributor, wherein the NI company can choose to appoint a distributor or importer in India under the authorized to sell agreement, or they can appoint a partner in India for contract manufacturing locally in India. What are the factors to look for while identifying the partner? A, there has to be a high alignment of product portfolio between the NI company and the Indian partner. B, the Indian partner should have prior market experience of working with foreign companies. C, the Indian partner should have extensive network with the local dealers, resellers, and sub-distributors. And they should cater to the important markets in India. And very important, the company should be financially sound with a credible management, and they should have local team which has technological expertise and business development expertise. What are the factors to consider for the right positioning for the product in the Indian market? A, the cost has to be right. India is a price sensitive market, and with the identification of the right partner, cost factor need to be addressed. India is a diverse market, hence the product need to be specific to the local needs of a region, because the demand from northern India could be completely different from the demand in the southern states of India. Again, collaboration with the stakeholders like associations, industry body, local partners is key to success in India, as they have the market knowledge, network, and experience to understand the local market. Increasingly, we have witnessed the role and growth of trade events in India, wherein foreign companies are choosing to showcase their product segments at the agri-tech trade events in India, wherein this becomes an opportunity to scout business opportunity and engage with local stakeholders. This slide just presents some of the important trade events for next year. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That's all from my side. I hope you like my presentation. Thank you for the patience.